Hey, listen. You ever wonder why some people just walk into a room and everything changes? The energy shifts. People listen. They connect. It's not luck. It's not charm. It's not because they've read every self-help book out there. It's because they know something most people forget. You don't need to force success. You need to connect. You want to win. Start by being real. You want influence. Learn how to listen. You want to succeed. Stop making it about you. Let's get into it. ChatGPT said you wake up, scroll through your feed, and there it is again. Someone else with the perfect life, the perfect smile, perfect job, perfect morning routine. And what do? You compare, you shrink, you think, I need to get better. I need to be perfect to matter. But let me ask you something real. When was the last time perfection made you feel anything? When was the last time someone being flawless made you want to open up, trust them, follow them? Never. Because perfection isn't relatable. It's not human. We connect through cracks, not polish. Think about it. Your closest friends. Do you love them because they have it all together? Or do you love them because they're real with you? They mess up. They show up. They laugh at themselves. They admit when they're scared. And that's why you feel safe with them. You don't need to fix yourself to be worthy of connection. You just need to show up as you. People don't remember the one who said everything right. They remember the one who looked them in the eye and made them feel seen. You're not here to impress people. You're here to impact them. And that starts when you stop performing and start being present. I want you to imagine walking into a room where everyone's trying to look perfect. Everyone's holding their breath, stiff smiles, fake laughs. Now imagine someone walks in and says, "Honestly, today was hard. But I'm here, and I'm showing up anyway." That person becomes magnetic. Because vulnerability isn't weakness. It's courage in action. It's truth in a world full of masks. Maybe you're at work, fumbling your words in a meeting. Maybe your voice shakes. Maybe you mess up. And maybe, just maybe, someone else in that room feels less alone because you weren't perfect. You gave them permission to be real. In a world where everyone's trying to be polished, be the one who's powerful because you're honest. People want to connect, not compare. They want to feel, not filter. Don't waste your energy chasing perfection. Chase moments of connection instead. Hold space. Share stories. Laugh at your own mistakes. Show your scars, not your highlight reel. Because when people feel you, not the version of you trying to be liked. They lean in. They trust you. They follow you. They remember you. You ever talk to someone and feel like they're not really there? Like they're just nodding, waiting for their turn to speak, not truly listening. Yeah, we've all felt that. Now flip it. Have you ever had someone look you in the eye and ask a question that made you pause? A question that made you feel like, wow, they actually care. That's what real curiosity does. It cuts through the noise and hits you right where it matters. Being insanely curious isn't about being nosy. It's not about interrogating people or gathering data. It's about presence. It's about caring enough to dig beneath the surface and see the human behind the small talk. Curiosity is the superpower that makes people feel seen. And when people feel seen, they open up. They trust, they connect. And that's where everything changes. You don't need to be the loudest in the room. You don't need to know everything. You just need to be curious. Be the one who asks, how did that make you feel? Or, what was that like for you? Or, what's something people don't usually ask you about? Ask the kind of questions that go past the script. And then, shut up. Actually listen, not to reply, not to fix, just to understand. Think about this. You're standing in the break room, and someone says, I didn't sleep much last night. Most people would throw out a quick, me neither, and move on. But curiosity leans in and asks, was something keeping you up? Now you've cracked the door open. Now it's not just another boring workday conversation. It's connection. Maybe they open up about stress. Maybe they don't. Either way, they remember that you cared enough to ask. This isn't just about friendships. It's about leadership, influence, trust. Curious leaders don't bark orders. They ask questions. Curious parents raise emotionally intelligent kids. Curious people don't assume, they explore. They learn. They evolve. And here's the kicker. Curiosity makes you magnetic. People are drawn to those who are genuinely interested in them. Not for what they do, not for what they know, but for who they are. When you walk through the world with curiosity, every room becomes an opportunity. Every stranger becomes a potential connection. And every moment becomes richer, deeper, more human. You keep trying to be interesting, right? Trying to post the right thing. Say the right words. Tell the coolest story. Impress the crowd. You think if you're impressive enough, loud enough, polished enough, people will finally see you. But here's the truth that nobody told you. Being interesting doesn't make people care about you. Being interested does. Stop trying to be the main character in every conversation. You don't have to dominate the room to matter. You don't have to steal the spotlight to be remembered. People don't crave performance. They crave presence. You walk into a room, and everyone's trying to sound smart. They're talking about their wins, their ideas, their goals. But then one person turns to you and says, "What excites you right now?" Or, "What are you struggling with these days?" That person, the one who asked and actually cared, that's the one you remember. Being interested is a magnetic force. It draws people in because it's rare, it's powerful, it's real. Think about a date, a meeting, even a casual chat with a neighbor. You try to impress. Talk about your job, your travel, your achievements, and it lands flat. But the second you stop trying to impress and start asking, "What's your story?" or "What do you love most about what you do?" something changes. They light up, walls drop. Because people don't want to feel like an audience. They want to feel like the star of their own story. You're not less valuable because you ask instead of speak. You're not invisible when you hold space for others. You're unforgettable. Every person is carrying a story. And most of them are just waiting for someone to care enough to ask. When you become that person, everything shifts. At work, don't just pitch your ideas. Ask someone what they think. At home, don't just unload your stress. Ask how your partner's really doing. In your friendships, stop waiting to talk and start leaning in. When you ask with real curiosity, people open up in ways you can't fake. They feel safe. They feel seen. They feel respected. And that is how you build influence, loyalty, love, and connection. One interested question at a time. You've been told to be strong, to be bold, to lead with confidence. And somewhere along the way, strength started to look like ego, like being the loudest in the room, like proving you're better, smarter, faster. But let me tell you something most people miss. Real strength is quiet. Real power is gentle. And leadership, it doesn't come from ego. It comes from kindness. People don't follow the person who shouts the loudest. They follow the one who listens. The one who makes them feel valued, respected, safe. You walk into a room with kindness, and everything shifts. Not because you demanded attention, but because you gave it. We live in a world that rewards ego. People puff their chests, flex their wins, compete for likes and applause. But the ones who truly influence, the ones who leave a lasting mark, are the ones who ask, "How can I help? What do you need? How can I lift you up today?" Think about your own life. The boss who barked orders versus the one who stayed late to help you through a tough project. The friend who made everything about themselves versus the one who checked on you when you went quiet. The teacher who made you feel small. The one who believed in you, even when you didn't believe in yourself. Those moments, those people, changed something in you. And it wasn't ego that did it. It was kindness. Kindness isn't soft. It's not weakness. It's not backing down. It's knowing you could tear someone apart and choosing to build them instead. It's having the chance to outshine someone and choosing to let them shine too. It's remembering that success doesn't have to be a race. Sometimes it's a team walk. You don't need to crush others to rise. You don't need to be ruthless to win. You need to show people that power doesn't have to hurt. That leadership can feel like warmth, not fear. And that being human, deeply, openly, and kindly, is the most powerful thing you'll ever be. Every time you choose kindness, when it's easier to choose ego, you shift the world around you. You become the kind of person people remember. Not because you proved something, but because you gave something no one else did. So here we are, full circle, standing at the edge of every room you'll ever walk into. Every conversation you'll ever start. And every dream you'll ever chase. What you carry with you from this moment isn't just information. It's transformation. Not because someone told you how to be powerful, but because you remembered that the real power has always been in you. You don't need to be the richest. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need to have the perfect background, the perfect body, or the perfect plan. What you need, what will always set you apart, is the courage to show up as you, the courage to speak with honesty, lead with kindness, ask with curiosity, connect without ego, and inspire by simply being real. You want to win friends? Then stop performing and start listening. Stop selling and start caring. People don't follow perfection. They follow authenticity. They're drawn to those who are bold enough to admit they don't have all the answers, but brave enough to ask the right questions. Every single day, you're given the chance to influence someone. Maybe it's a stranger on the street. Maybe it's a colleague sitting across from you. Maybe it's your own reflection in the mirror. Don't waste those moments chasing applause. Use them to build trust. Remember this: the loudest voice in the room isn't always the strongest. Sometimes it's the quiet confidence of someone who knows who they are. Someone who doesn't need to be seen to see others. Someone who doesn't fight for attention because their presence is already felt. This world doesn't need more noise. It needs more meaning. It needs more people who are willing to put down the mask and say, "This is me, flaws and all, and I'm still worthy." You were not born to blend in. You were not built to play small. You were made to shake the ground with your presence and shift the energy with your words. And you don't need 1,000,000 followers to do that. Sometimes all it takes is one moment, one conversation, one act of genuine kindness to start a ripple that changes everything. People don't follow titles. They follow truth. They follow heart. They follow those who lead, not with fear, but with love. As one great voice once said, "You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." And it begins right here. It begins the moment you decide that being real matters more than being perfect. That lifting others matters more than winning alone. That listening is more powerful than shouting. Your voice is not too small. Your presence is not too late. The world is not waiting for the next superstar. It's waiting for the real you. You want success? Then stop chasing it and start becoming it. Become the kind of person who makes people feel seen. Become the kind of leader who leads with humility. Become the kind of friend who listens when no one else does. You don't need permission to step into your power. You don't need a title to make an impact. The only thing you need is to show up again and again and again as the fullest, fiercest, most compassionate version of yourself. Someone out there is waiting for your story, waiting for your energy, waiting for your voice. So go. Show up. Speak up. Stand tall. And never forget this. You were not born to be ordinary. You were born to influence, to connect, to win hearts, to rise. And when you lead with that kind of power, the kind rooted in kindness, curiosity, and truth, nothing can stop you.